broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV. Today we are doing Grey's Anatomy After Show for Season 12, Episode 10. All I Want Is You. And it's just us two. Did you point at me
when you said that?
I pointed to everybody.
Oh, you're talking about the episode.
Like the all-encompassing.
Sure. You said it and you pointed at me. You looked really confident, so I thought you were saying, like, all I want is you. I was like, well, I'm here for you.
That is you.
But
that is the voice of Jay Howard. Hello, Jay.
How you doing?
Welcome back. I'm great.
Good.
Thanks. And I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. Where can everyone follow you?
JF Howard. JAYF Howard.
Yes. Unfortunately, Tara couldn't join us again today, and then Julie's still being a newborn mom.
Still being a mom.
There you
currently.
Go.
Yeah.
So it's just us two. Again, that's awesome, though. But all I want is you, real quick. What were your overall thoughts of this episode?
You know, we talked about last week's episode, and I said that I really liked it. It was one of my more favorite episodes in a long time.
It was fantastic last week.
I wasn't as sold on this episode. It just kind of, it seemed really busy to me.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed kind of jumbled. Are you the same with you?
I agree, especially on that point. And maybe because the previous episode last week's, you know, it was really one main storyline that was easy to follow throughout the whole episode. And this one, we had so many people more involved. We had... Basically, it was a catch-up of what happened to everybody else within the last, 3 months they've been gone.
Right. Well, and I think and if you guys feel the same way, you can tweet us at #ABTVGrays, and we will respond to you or read your comments here. But, I don't know how I feel about it, because one of the reasons that I liked last week's was because I feel like it was very simplified and it was very focused. And so what you said is absolutely correct. It kind of felt like this week they were kind of playing catch up on a bunch of stories, and so they kind of just like tossed in little updates on all of the storylines, and it just kind of got confusing because I feel like there were like 7 different storylines in this episode, maybe more.
It's very true, and I think Grey's is great. And everybody is great in the show. I think that's also maybe one of something that might hinder them, because it's such a big cast, that they feel like every once in a while you'd be like, this is what's happening with everybody.
Has the cast always been this big? I feel like this has got to be like the most complex.
It's humongous. It's a big ensemble.
It's always been the show's always been that way, for sure. That's always been a characteristic of the show, is kind of hopping out of different storylines. But I feel like it is... like at its apex, like there is more storylines going on than I can even handle as a viewer.
I agree, and I think maybe that goes back to, if you remember, like Season 1 started with like 5 main people, and then like the big doctors that we were supposed to know, and then when they had the merger a few seasons later, then that added like 5 more, and then like they just kept adding from there, and now we're just at like 20 people we have to follow every single week, which is okay. And but
here we are.
Here we are. We're talking about them. Let's just get into this.
Yes.
Meredith, she's in therapy after her devastating attack.
Yes.
That we saw.
What do you think?
I like this. It's understandable because Meredith has gone through so much crap, and it's amazing how she's still alive on this show despite everything. Everything that she's been through, like physical trauma, mental trauma, it's amazing she's still standing. So good on her for like being in that position. She's like, I've been here before. It's really nothing.
Well, and I wrote, as in kind of my notes here as we were watching the episode, one of the things that kind of stuck out to me was she had a line, something along the lines of, he asked, I don't know, how was that day for you? How's this day for you? And she said like, hey, I'm still alive, so it's a good day. And so I feel like the therapy is kind of giving her a perspective. It's reorienting her after all of these crazy things to where she can kind of like look over life and her relationships and say, you know what? I'm freaking here. I'm not dead. So It's like, it's okay, And
I think the therapist really came up with that perspective. But were you surprised with Meredith reasoning and how she was looking at it thinking that, you know, she was alone in the hospital when then, you know, they left her alone. Her friends, her coworkers left her alone. So I can understand where she was kind of coming from. Like, that is bothersome to some people. But were you surprised that was kind of her, I don't want to say argument, but that was her point in the whole therapy?
You're saying
that people left her alone.
Is that what you got from it? I didn't. I felt like, well, I guess I got that it was more that she was more struggling with whether or not she should have those relationships, because that's when, you know, when she said the line about you know, they're here and all I want them to do is leave, and then when they leave, I'm no better off. And so I feel, to me, it seemed like she was kind of more so like toying with what the relationships, you know, because what they mean to her. And, you know, throughout the episode, she's kind of going one by one, talking about her perspective on these different relationships. You know what I mean? And so I think it was kind of like she's kind of figuring out, how do these fit in my life? What are they supposed to mean to me? You know?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's also, you know, we did see the moment when she's talking about other people in their relationships, like Karev and Joe are doing this, Maggie and DeLuca are doing this, you know. And to add to your point, yeah, I think it's more so like she observes everybody else and the, like, how do they relate to her in her life, and should she be friends with them, should she hang out with them? And you know, we see, I mean, not to jump ahead, but we do see, you know, Meredith trying to socialize, and she really doesn't want to. So it shows that she cares about these people, but not enough to always be with them all the time.
Yeah. And, you know, it seems like that this episode and her therapy was kind of meant to be a journey. Once again, I think this episode is meant to give perspective for her character. And so I think, you know, it's like this episode was meant to kind of go, like, take us through and take her through her own journey, and then how people were woven into her journey. You know what I mean? And side note, this is just a little, like, I thought it was so good, the little line she gave right before they went to the trailer, you know, the Grey's Anatomy trailer, when she just said, like, you know, he's like, have you been through a lot? And she's like, have you seen my file? You know, I was like, oh, that was good. That was good.
That was fantastic. And I loved even a slight ode to the editing, where they showed, like, all the saddest moments of Meredith's life. I was like, what are you doing to us? It was like, we already know she's been through a lot.
Right.
A lot of people have left her in her life. A lot of people that she loved and grew close to and had actual strong relationships, they're all gone. Like, we had Christina, we had Derek, we had her mother and Weber and, like, everybody. And then, like, that quick segment of just flashes of everyone who left her. It's like, I can understand why Meredith does feel alone, because people in the end did leave her.
Yeah.
So
what did you think about this? I was kind of like jotting down some different notes on this fact, and I couldn't really put it all together. But just, it's a little bit abstract, but it seems like there was a lot of like toying with themes of kind of community and togetherness, because you see Meredith alone thinking about those themes of, like, her community, her friendships, the people that are around her, relationships. And then it seems like the whole, like, all of the rest of the show, you see people at these, like, parties around other people talking about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wonder, it seems like there was some kind of play there of, like, her thinking about her relationships, and then we see everybody hanging out together,
having relationships.
Right.
Am
I making that up? I might be making that up.
No.
I might be reading too much into it.
See, I think we're both reading too much into it. My thing is, like, Meredith had a certain perspective going into this therapy, but it was so, like you said, it was slightly convoluted and abstract. I was trying to figure out what was the exact message at the end, until the therapist actually pretty much summed it up for us. It's like, you feel like you're alone, but you don't want to be alone, because in the end of the day, your friends were there for you.
Yeah.
Granted, they were doing their jobs, but they were there for you.
Yeah.
So.
And so, yeah, overall,
I liked that message.
Right. Overall, it seems like the therapy is kind of like a vehicle by which she can, after this traumatic experience she had in the last episode, it's a vehicle that allows her to explore and get perspective on all of those relationships she has in her life, and hopefully figure out where they fit.
And what she's going to do with them.
Well, yeah, what she's going to do with them.
Because I love the ending line of the episode, you know, you are alive, so have a good day. And, you know, the truth is you can do anything now. So what is she going to do?
See, I feel like that's getting ready to I feel like this is going to be her last season because her contract's up this season.
It is up. Yeah.
I feel like this is pushing her
to really contemplate her life because she's on her own. Technically, she doesn't really have ties anymore.
Yeah, and she's got kids
Derek
too.
Derek is gone.
Yep.
I mean, her sister and her, father-in-law pretty much are still there, but like, I think she's seen and been through everything that could possibly go at the hospital. It wouldn't surprise me if she did leave at the end.
It's with the outside the television the TV show aspect of her contract expires this year, and so they're gonna have to either make her leave or renegotiate, which I think they could do either. But it just watching this, it's starting. I feel like they're gonna have her leave. Maybe even die. I don't know. I mean, they could feasibly kill her off.
Let's not go there.
That's a whole other show.
I did but the truth is, there's anything you can do now. And for some reason, Derek's one line that he always says before he goes into his signature line, it's a beautiful day to save lives. For some reason, that popped into my head. Let me know if that happened to you guys. All right, so let's get to the patient of the day.
Yep.
More so, Maya.
Maya.
In
my notes, I nicknamed her Smart Girl Maya.
Yeah, very.
So everywhere,
very precocious Maya.
Smart Girl Maya.
She's suffering from chest cancer. I believe the term was all these medical terms.
You got it. You can do it.
Chondrosarcoma. Chondrosarcoma.
You pronounced it like okay, but
I wasn't. There wasn't confidence in that.
Did you spell it right? That's what I want to know.
I think I did.
Wow.
I can't tell you if I pronounced it right, but let us know.
What did you major? Did you go to college? What did you major in?
I got a degree
pronunciation.
in film.
Okay.
Film. Funny, I actually wanted to go to medical school.
Did you?
If it wasn't for film, I would have gone into medicine.
Because it's so interesting. You're writing down the names of these things, and I'm like, no, she had like a cancer in her chest or something, and you're like, no, she had Marcoplastidioma, and you're spelling it correctly.
It's fascinating. I mean, I think you guys learned from last week. I loved ER. I wanted to be.
Yes. You know your stuff.
I wanted to go into medicine, but
so she has a tumor in her chest.
Yes.
And she's very smart. She has researched it all.
And she's like, Karev, you are the patient. Everyone referred me to you, so you're my doctor. Work for me. What do you think of Maya? Just like her personality and whatnot. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fine. I feel like has that been done before on Grey's Anatomy, where like the patient comes in and they know everything and they're. Or maybe I'm thinking of House or something like that. I feel like I've seen that plot line before where the patient comes in and they know everything and they're challenging the doctor. But anyways, Smart Girl Maya was cool. She was great.
It's really good. I loved how she challenged Karev, though.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we can see Karev being like, no, I'm the smart one. I'm doing this for you. Like, he knows more.
Right.
And I liked how it was a young woman, actually. Again, standing up to Karev. This is like the second episode in a row that someone like really just put Karev in his place.
That would piss me off as a doctor, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, no, you can do what I want to do, or you can go away, because I'm the one who paid $250,000 to go to medical school.
True.
All
right, so she pretty much they make up this plan that she needs to have her bone chest removed with and replaced with titanium plate surgery. So, the zipper kind of scar.
Right.
Actually going in. This type of surgery would have multiple surgeries over the years, and she doesn't like that.
I wouldn't like that either.
It was like multiple surgeries. Why can't you do like one and done?
Right.
Which she didn't like that, so she kicked Karev off the surgery.
She gets
you are
Callie
off of my case.
And
You're
Maggie
fired.
In there.
She went Trump on him.
Yeah, she said, You're
fired,
Karev.
What do we think of Callie and going? I don't want to say behind his back, but it was like sidestep to Callie and her consult.
Yeah, that wasn't super cool, especially since she's recommending a surgery that's never been done before. If I were
not in a young person such as
I guess,
her.
yeah.
It's been done in adults.
Okay, and not a child. Okay. But still, it basically hasn't been
understandable.
Done before,
and I loved how they're just slowly integrating more 3D print operations, because remember the first operation that they did, it was like this biggest thing ever, and that's when 3D prints were brand new and like no one has done it. And I was like, I can print this, I can print that.
What do you read something into that? Is it or just like that's just where
I just find it fun that now it's just like, okay, this
It's
is also
matching
happening.
what's going on in the real world.
It's not as big as a deal anymore. And be like, yeah, I can easily print that in 14 hours and
Right.
have a surgery.
Right. Yes. You just know so much more about medical than I do.
No,
I'm
I
like,
don't. I
"Yeah,
really
don't know.
don't, you guys.
I don't know if they could do that or not.
Yeah, so Callie pretty much they're like, hey, I can print this for you, and we can have less surgeries. Karev's not there, but I liked how Karev came around in the end.
No, she wanted him there. She knew she wanted him involved. At the end of the day, she wanted him involved, so she was gonna let him be involved no matter what. And that, when she goes into her, that was a sweet moment,
It was
when
sweet.
they were holding hands, talking, and she's, basically she's scared, obviously, and
She has the
confiding
mother
in him.
consent.
Which is weird. So the mother signed off and said, "You guys can do whatever she said, whatever my daughter wants," or how's that work? You're the expert.
I am not the expert, but her mother signed consent forms, so whatever happens in the operation room happens. Like the doctors now have the ability to do what they can.
Okay, I gotcha.
But and I loved how even Callie was like, "Oh man, this is a very interesting procedure, very risky." But they actually ended up doing it. And it was successful.
You skipped over the part where I have it right here.
I'll go for it.
Where they're pulling her freaking rib cage apart.
Yeah, that was
That's bananas to
that
me.
was painful. I think I mentally just tried to skip over that naturally.
They were all
because that was
freaking-
so painful.
Oh my god.
We gotta get it. We gotta get the fit.
Man.
The template. My thing is, okay,
Give me your thing.
I would have going into a procedure that they've never done before. Granted,
Mm-hmm.
there's 14 hours to create this template. I wonder if they could just set up 2 3D printers, print them both at the same time, and then when you go into it, you have 2 different models in case one does fail. You have
You are
a
so
fail-safe situation.
smart.
I mean, 3D printers aren't that expensive.
You are
They're
so
actually
smart.
very affordable to the common community.
I wish you could be my doctor.
That's a hospital that has lots of money.
That's true.
They could easily invest more than one 3D
Shonda,
printer.
take notes.
Just saying.
Would have made the episode
But-
a lot shorter.
Yeah, in that operation, I was like, why would you go into a risky operation with only just one?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Come on, Callie.
that maybe that just bothered me.
Come on,
Let me
Callie.
know, you guys.
But it worked.
it was a
She's
success.
cool.
It was
Smart
successful.
smart girl Maya is gonna be okay,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Wait, did they get the tumor out? Wait, or they already had
I
the
believe
tumor
so.
out?
Yeah.
They did that in the
It was
surgery.
pretty much it was the cancer was taking over the bones. It was
Right,
affecting the bones,
okay,
so they had to
yeah.
pretty much just remove the bones and
I
put
gotcha.
in the new template.
I feel you.
That's what happened. All right, but we got Callie involved in this episode, which I really did enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of touched upon Callie and Penny.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how apparently they haven't really been talking
Mm-hmm.
since the whole Meredith dinner situation. Remember when that was super awkward when
Right.
Penny was put on the spot? Yeah. So since that, the relationship has been on the rocks. But I liked how we caught up there, and even Callie was like, "Are you okay?"
Their
Are we
relationship's
okay?
kind of like a
It's up in
snooze fest for me. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like it's really integrated into the plot. It seems like it was just kind of there to get Penny to the hospital.
yeah.
Is that just me? It doesn't really seem. It seems just too convenient.
I'm waiting for Penny to do something awesome. I mean, she had a great moment last episode.
Yeah.
But
Maybe I just don't like her very much.
I agree. Maybe
annoying.
she just needs a big storyline for her to be go.
Because
be
she started
shine.
redeeming herself last week.
She did,
And then this week she's kind of comes back and she's kind of annoying. I don't know.
She's kind of just
Not the actress, just the character.
Are we together, Callie? On and off? Are we good? And then they make out in the stairwell.
Right. And we're
I
like,
guess they're
what's going
back
on with
together.
Jackson and April? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm
like,
more interested in that story.
that's where I'm at. And we still don't have any freaking answers on that.
No.
Next week, possibly.
Yes,
That's
but-
later. That's another conversation.
Again, you guys, it's a lot of catching up of relationships, so there's a lot to cover. Callie and Penny, they're making out in the stairwell. I think they're good.
Yeah, they'll be
now.
fine. They'll be
Because
fine.
even Callie in the dinner, or the friends' dinner, which we'll get to, she's like, I just want to make out.
Right.
No, that was Penny. Penny's like, I get the kissing.
Right.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was Penny. That's
yes.
right.
And they did. So
Yeah,
there you
so
go.
there you go.
So
They're together.
Owen
Owen and Riggs.
and Riggs.
Still tension between those two.
So okay, so he's telling Amelia about, I guess, his sister was in Megan.
We get some backstory now,
but we still don't know. So the backstory is Owen and Megan. Megan's his sister. They go to medical school together.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
They meet Riggs just at school. I need some affirmation here because I wasn't exactly sure. Like as you telling the story, I was like, so you meet him at school and then she dies. Confirmed. We still don't know how she died.
Okay, so Owen and Riggs went to school together at the same time, and they trained together, in the field.
Good.
And then Owen's younger sister, Megan, I believe they said like a year and a half, 2 years.
Mm-hmm. She starts dating Riggs.
She was in school too, as well. That's where she met Riggs. They started dating, and then she
dies somehow.
Happens.
Okay, right now, tell me how she died.
We still don't know how she died.
You tell me. I have a theory about what I think happened, but you tell me yours.
Give me your theory.
Well, you're gonna copy my theory.
No, I'm not.
Swear to me.
Because I really don't have
right
a theory.
Now. Okay.
Go.
Go for it. I think that Riggs, something happened where Riggs had to operate on her, and it was like Owen and Riggs were in the operation room, and they were disagreeing about something that should be done to Owen's sister, and Riggs does his thing, makes a mistake, and she dies on the table. That's what I think happened.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Yes. No,
Am
that's
I good?
Great. I think there may be the sister. This might be in predictions, you guys, but we might be getting ahead of ourselves. But maybe something happened out in the field when they were together. Maybe the sister was actually with them, and then something happened. They had to operate, and Riggs made a bad decision.
Okay, so give me percentage chance that Riggs like almost murdered her. What's the percentage chance that happened?
Almost murdered?
Like,
I feel
kind of murdered her.
Riggs wouldn't murder someone that he was dating, hopefully.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe.
Chance? You can't give it percentage chance.
Is that like a 5% chance? It's Grey's Anatomy. So anything can happen.
0.01%.
Oh, okay. Mine's pretty low, but I don't know if it's that low. I just feel like something could have happened where it was like not like straight up cold blooded murder, but it's like suspicious.
I think it was more so maybe the emotions got involved and Riggs made a wrong choice, which ended up she lost her life.
So you think my theory is probably correct?
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna say yes. It's just the way that Grey's lays out things. Well, we really got into that, but yes, Sister Megan, what happened? Let us know your theories, guys.
Just tweet us hashtag #ABTVGrays and you can just say I think Jay's right if you want.
And if not,
then don't tweet us.
You can go on. You guys can go on iTunes and actually rate and review us. There, leave us 5 stars. Tell us what you think.
Yes.
Give us your theories because we want to know.
Yes, that's
true.
true.
We're just spitting this out there.
I just made that up. So if you guys have a better theory, you can let me know.
Fantastic.
I feel really confident about it.
And I don't want to copy you because that was so darn good.
I feel confident about it. I feel good about it.
Yeah. So I loved how you put it out there in the world. Let's see it happen.
I know. Maybe Shonda will just take she's like, that's a great plot idea, Jay.
Yeah, it's like, shoot, Jay.
Get the writers back in here. Let's rewrite this thing.
But, okay, so they actually have to, despite Owen, still being mad at Riggs, they're in an operation because in an ambulance, Riggs exploded due to faulty oxygen.
And that was such a random thing. Was that not really... They didn't go back to that at all?
They didn't really...
The guy was saying, like, oh, he's going to kill me, I was like, okay, this is going to be another storyline, and they never went back to it.
Yeah, and I don't even think we got that Patience who was on the table, who was... technically responsible for it because he said the oxygen tank wasn't secured properly. The rig exploded. He's gonna kill me, and we never really got.
That was a strange. I feel like it could have just been something more normal, like a car accident or something, and all of this could have played out. But that's very strange.
I see. When I saw an explosion, I was like, that is too close to the hospital.
Suspicious.
For some reason.
Riggs.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Maybe I've watched too many dramas that, like, I thought maybe terrorism was involved. Or, like, how did something in the ambulance get that close to a hospital and explodes with that many civilians?
Yeah.
My mind went in, like, a million different places.
See, I was going the same way. I thought it was something nefarious. But they just never referred. It was like a plot line for like a hot minute, and they just never went back to it. Yeah. Strange.
Maybe I was thinking Criminal Minds. There was an episode where an ambulance was rigged with a bomb.
Really?
And they brought it to the hospital.
Maybe they got the lots mixed up the day that they were filming. And
Maybe.
They, you never know. Things happen.
Maybe.
But so they're so.
But I'm glad it wasn't more than that. It was so we the audience.
Right.
There was an explosion.
Yep.
Hence the patient.
Yep.
Hence Owen actually had to work with Riggs.
So he calls Riggs in.
Yes.
And like in a moment of humility, which is cool. You don't think so? I thought it was humility.
I liked it because it was immediately followed up by like a really good conversation with Amelia. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly so.
Wait.
Because Amelia and Owen, they're still not on good dating terms, whatever. But they were supposed to go to dinner.
Right.
And then they just get into the whole conversation. That's where we learned about the sister.
Yes.
And then Amelia actually said something like really, really good as I refer to my notes, guys.
Something about like she loved him or something like that. Like she loved him at some point, so he must be family.
Him, so there must be good in there.
Okay, right.
So he is family.
Right.
And now having that preface what just happened.
Yes. Right.
That really opened up Owen's eyes to be like, yeah, I gotta work with Riggs. There is some connection there, so I did like this at that moment.
I will say that from a cinematography or editing or writing whatever standpoint, that scene was really that was cool. That was well done. Like just the choreography of it, like kind of going back and forth, timing. I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. Like,
yeah, that's like a new Olympic category.
It was cool. It
was awesome. And it was to the point, it was like, okay, so what really happened?
Right.
Between the sister, if they're so on like the same wavelength together and something
that supports my theory though, that they like were operating to get something like that because they were on the same wavelength. Timing was like they had done it before.
Yeah.
They had done it before.
And that's where I think Riggs might have made a mistake somewhere in the operation that cost her life.
I know it.
Ooh. We're figuring it out, guys.
But then, right after they do that, after they have the successful operation, and you think they're buddy, and they start arguing again.
Yeah, Owen
they're in
immediately
like the post-op room
yelling.
or whatever, and they're freaking screwing at each other.
Even April's telling to Bailey because Bailey's like, "And you think I made a good idea?" And April's like, "No, not yet. Don't. This might have been a win in the operation room. It's not a win out in the real life."
There's more to come in that relationship, I'm sure.
Oh, for sure. So there's still some heat and tension between those two. Mm-hmm. How long do you think they'll drag this storyline?
Oh, that'll be a long one.
Do you think we'll get answers next episode?
That'll be a long one. Yeah, it'll be a long. I don't think we'll get answers because I think most of next episode is going to be Jackson and April. So
hopefully
they have to, right?
Yeah, they have to because they've been stringing us along for that one too.
Yeah, since like 2014. I mean, it's time, guys.
It feels like 2014. It's time. Yeah. All right, so let's get to the Friends night. Everybody's like powwowing together. Three different groups.
What did you make of that? Why was that? Why did they have that in the plot?
It was more so because, granted, we just came back from a hiatus. Mm-hmm. I think the last episode was November 2015, so it's been at least 2 to 3 months.
Yep.
We haven't seen all these guys back together. The first episode back was really all Meredith. And even when she was with everyone, we couldn't hear them because, the audio was out. So I think this episode was just like, quick, let's put these guys together, have some interaction. All right, you guys are caught up now. Put these people together, catching up.
So you think they just use it as a functional tool to kind of catch everybody up on the story, like we were talking about?
Is in their relationship.
Yep. Okay.
I think that was it.
I'm right there with you.
The first group: Joe, Warren, Evans, and Penny.
Yep.
Pretty much, they just miss sex.
That's basic theme, that was pretty much it.
And
did we get any new information on Joe?
Warren even checked out because he was getting a call from his woman. So.
Right. I'm trying to think. Did they give us anything further with Joe in that thing? Not really, huh?
Oh, but the audience does find out that Joe and Karev, because before the hiatus, like literally that last episode, Karev proposes. We didn't really get a clear answer. Yep. We find out that she didn't really say yes yet. So they're still together on off. Mm-hmm. They're together, they're not together, but they are together.
Right.
But they're not engaged
They're leaving that very ambiguous. They're leaving a lot of these relationships pretty ambiguous right now, aren't they?
Very open-ended.
Yep.
I don't think I'm okay with
Grays.
that.
Stressing me out, man.
Greys in your relationships.
Freaking stressing me out, man.
Second group, DeLuca, Arizona, and Weber. They go out. This was funny. What do you think of Weber trying to like give his wildcat quote unquote speeches to DeLuca? Awkward.
Yeah, I knew that last shot was good. I knew that was gonna happen. That he was gonna be sitting there and all of a sudden it was gonna dawn on him like, oh my gosh, wait. Who's he dating? I thought it was really funny because I guess I forgot that he didn't know. He didn't know because at first I was like, man, that's freaking weird that he's saying all that stuff. And then as he kind of walks out the door, I was like, oh, that's right. He doesn't know that they're together. So that's what's funny about. No, I thought that was funny. It was really well done.
And that's just awkward because now he was talking about Wildcat, which was actually his daughter. You're like, yeah, he set himself up for that one.
Right.
I think that was one of the more funnier moments of the night.
Yes.
And then, of course, the last group was Meredith, Miranda, Karev, Callie, against Meredith's wishes. Mm-hmm. She's trying to be social, sitting on the couch, but she really just wants people out. Mm-hmm. Out. Were you surprised at her behavior during all of this? Or did you find it understandable?
It's strange. I'm trying to kind of figure out where it fits in because she wanted them out, but it's like, look, they all just took care of you in your time of need.
And so I guess I don't understand. To take care of you.
I guess I don't understand why because she seems genuinely okay in the therapy session. She seems. You
think so?
She got cleared.
No, I put in my notes literally fake laugh. She's not okay.
When did she fake laugh?
Right at the beginning. Literally, this is the second line in my notes.
So you think she's genuinely not okay?
Fake laugh. I feel like she's putting on a smile and telling herself that she's okay.
See, I'm the opposite. I feel like she's genuinely starting to come to grips with where she's at in life and be okay.
Okay.
We'll see.
At this point in the episode, do you think now she's okay?
Well, I don't know. Now you got me all confused.
Again,
I don't know. You're making me nervous. I thought so, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe the episode was a little all over the place.
Yeah. I don't know what we're supposed to think because she got cleared by the
therapist.
By the therapist. He said he felt good about where she was at. So I was like, okay, cool. That's what I felt was we're ending the episode. She's dealing with some of this stuff. She's figuring out a path forward. She is, realizing you can do anything you want. Mm-hmm. So that's what I took from her. I was like, okay, cool. She's doing well. So that's why I was kind of confused why she's pushing these people away. So I was like, well.
I mean, I kind of get it that, like, maybe I think it's been established that they're always together now. Like, they've been planning multiple nights of just, like, hanging out. And it's maybe just to the point where Meredith is like, I don't want to hang out with you tonight. Mm-hmm. Get out of my house. Very nicely. Because she did. She was like, just get out. Mm-hmm. Have fun. Mm-hmm. Go with other people.
Right. What did you think about, and we touched on this last week, but what did you think about the very pointed question that the therapist asked about Karev?
Oh, yeah.
Because we like talked about it for like just a second last week, and they're not going to be together. And then he asked a very point. He's like, "You're talking about Alex Karev a lot. Do you?" And he said like, "Are you in love with him?" or something. I said something very direct like that, and her answer was unconvincing.
Yeah, I liked how she turned around. I still don't think they'll be together.
I don't think so either.
Meredith and Karev. I liked how she turned it around and be like, "Hey, I set Karev on a path to go straight to Joe so they could be together, and he messed it up." So I think it's more so coming from maybe that friend's perspective. Like, I set him up to be with someone else, to be happy, and he didn't really take it. So I think maybe the end question, does Karev really want to be with Joe?
I don't think so, no.
So does Karev really want to be with Meredith, or does Meredith want to be with Karev?
I don't know. It was just, it struck me because I don't feel like Karev really wants to be with Joe. That doesn't seem like it has deep roots. But it just doesn't seem like
Karev would want to be with Meredith. They seem like
family. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not like, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
I'll just say this. I don't think they're good together. Like in romance.
Right.
I think I would love their platonic relationship.
I agree.
And be that.
I think that they're going to end this season. I think they're going to end the show with Meredith being alone, which is fine.
I think that's the theme. I think that was the message that they were calling And I think that's just what Shonda Rhimes has been saying. It's the whole theme of Meredith being on her own and finding her.
She doesn't have to be defined
herself.
by her love interest.
No, she doesn't. She's not. Not anymore.
That's why I feel like that ultimately something crazy like her and Alex together wouldn't happen.
I find it interesting that there was the line that she's been, because she's been alone for so long, she's gotten good at being alone. Mm-hmm. I was like,
did you read that negatively or positively?
No, I don't really want to say either. It's just like, yeah,
that's just a fact.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's a straight up fact that everyone I feel can agree with. Like maybe she's, because so many people have left her in her life, maybe she's just gotten used to being alone at the end.
See, that to me, when that was said, that it felt like it was framed negatively. Like okay. Yeah, I'm good at being alone, and it's not good for me, basically. You know. So But
I think that's why the therapist was like, maybe you don't want to be alone, even though you do feel like you are alone.
I don't know. I'm so turned around.
I know.
I'm so twisted up.
It's a very ambiguous type of therapy session.
And I think it's that's what they're shooting for. You know, they're just it's
it
raising
makes you
questions.
think.
It does make you think.
Darn it, Shonda Rhimes. Yeah, it really made us think. Shoot. All right.
Just moment of silence for thoughts.
So thought-provoking.
Right.
Any other things about this episode we may have missed you want to talk about?
I think we hit everything in here that I had written down.
Okay, great. So let's get to. I have actually a little bit of news.
A little bit of news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So everyone's like speculating because Derek has left. Does that open the door for other people to come back?
It does.
People were thinking Sandra Oh to come back, setting up storylines for maybe she come back. Nothing has yet been confirmed if she would ever.
That's the same
back.
news story I had written down.
Interesting. Do you think she would come back? Maybe like series finale that Sandra Oh would come back.
You know, I think. I don't know. What does outside of the show? What's her? Is she on? What else is she on schedule wise?
I haven't seen her yet.
Okay, so I didn't know if there was like a scheduling conflict. Outside of that, I don't think they'll bring her on for like the long term. But I could see something like, you know, they bring her on for an episode or two at the very end to kind of wrap up the.
News sources are saying because Christina is Meredith's person, quote unquote, and then Meredith is so alone right now that she needs Christina more than ever, which would open the door to if Christina would come back. Again, nothing's been confirmed. Yeah, people are just speculating.
What if Meredith moved and went with Christina?
Ooh,
is that a possibility?
Really, move all the way to where did Christina go? Sweden?
Maybe.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think so, but it's a possibility.
My thing is that we did see when Derek died, Meredith left for a year and a half, remember?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That was
to
all
reset.
Yeah, that was all encompassing in one episode, so never really felt that she left, but she was gone for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So if she left again, I don't see that happening.
Well, I'm saying like to move her off the show almost, or to end maybe not even this season, maybe like in a further season, but I'm talking about like to end the show, like maybe that's the end of the show is boom, she moves somewhere else,
she leaves, maybe
to go be with someone who's not a love interest because she's not defined by that.
Maybe, who knows, that's still farther down the line. But another interesting article, people.com, Kate Walsh, who, as you remember, played Addison, gives the prognosis whether Dr. Addison Montgomery could return to Grey's Anatomy. And, of course, according to People.com, it says the doctor is not checking back in. Darn it. Says in mid-season... Grey's... Sorry, I'm going through this article. Kate Walsh says she will not be reprising her role as Dr. Addison. The 48-year-old actress told People that... there are no plans for me to come back. She continued, I get that question a lot, as much as I love it, and I'm flattered, and I'm so thrilled that people love the show. But for me, I did it for 9 years, and it's had its run. Because, you know, she was on Grey's, and then she went to private practice for a good amount of time.
Right.
So overall,
she's over it. She just doesn't want to be a doctor anymore.
She's had her time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Which is great.
Thanks,
and I
people.
loved Addison. Addison was fantastic.
Absolutely.
So great. So no, she will not be coming back. So it's, again, people just, maybe because there's so many seasons have been out, people just are nostalgic for people that they love, characters to come back.
Well, and it's started like they're almost starting to work through all of the like so many people have left and died off that it's like yeah, it's kind of all right. We either got to end this or we got to bring some of the original people back on. I feel like
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Before we end, let's do predictions.
Let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so you had a fantastic prediction about what may or may not have happened between Owen and Riggs and Megan.
Do I have permission just to use that as just like repeat it?
Repeat. Okay, look.
Or is that
how
lazy?
about we see in the previews, the audience sees Jackson, April
Yeah.
going back, spanning their memories of being together, getting married. What do you think is going to happen? And they did pose the question: will April sign those papers?
Yes, she signs them. That's my prediction. I think I've gone back and forth like 11 times on this, but yes, she signs them.
I think there's going to be a big blow up, and maybe April. Yes, I think April will sign them too. It's going to be really sad, but maybe Jackson won't.
Oh!
Hey-oh.
That's a great prediction. That's my prediction too.
Oh, so it'd be like completely flip on each other.
Yes.
Like April will get to that point where she'll sign.
That's a great.
Well, she'll sign the papers, and Jackson won't.
And
be
it's
like, what am I
going to
doing?
be something really dramatic where she signs them, and then he comes back and he's like, "I can't believe you did that. I didn't sign them."
Oh, drama.
That's what it is. That's a great prediction.
That is Grey's drama right there.
Classic.
Maybe we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Where can everyone keep following you, Jay?
JF Howard, JAYF Howard.
Great. And you can follow me on Twitter at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun places at AfterBuzz TV. Rate, comment, subscribe, leave a review. We will read and shout you guys out. Thank you, everyone, for tweeting at us.
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Thank you to Savannah and Jacqueline and all you guys who tweeted at us. I'm trying to pull up my Twitter here. But yeah, keep tweeting at us. Use the hashtag ABTVGrays. Let us know what you think. Your theories. What's going to happen with Jackson and April? Owen and Riggs and Megan. What happened? We want to know. So let us know. Thank you, everyone, for listening, watching. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.